Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai with the Total Fots mod. So, I have been sent by the mod creator a new version of Total Fots. A multiplayer version that specifically focuses in on the American Civil War. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. We're gonna go over to custom battles, and I've already prepared. We're gonna go ahead and play as the Northern Forces and with the North, the Union, and we're gonna play at First Manassas, and we're gonna see how that goes. The armies, as much as possible, gonna be quite even. Now I'm gonna deploy a Gatling gun. The South cannot deploy Gatling guns, so I'm gonna give them some extra troops to kind of, make it a bit fair. But hopefully at some point I'll actually be able to play this against a human player instead, which I think would be more interesting. But for now, we're gonna play against the AI, and so with that said, let's draw the sword and march for freedom. And there we have arrived on the field of battle. We're looking at the First Manassas battlefield, or maybe I should call it Bull Run, since I'm playing as the Union. And we can see the field ahead of us, and where the enemy holds, according to the map, is this area right here, and that we will advance upon. So you can see roads crisscrossing and the woods and stuff, and there's a few rivers going through and smaller creeks. Now the river we find ourselves behind has only really two crossing points as far as when I tested out the map. So it's by this bridge over here when you can cross on either side, and then it's through here. So I'm intending to move the armies, my army through there. So I've divided my army up into units. We've got 4 infantry brigades, 2 units of cavalry. We split the cavalry in 2. And then we have all the artillery actually focused around here, although they'll be portioned out to either side as they cross. So as we go through here, we've got 3rd Pennsylvania and 3rd New Jersey cavalry, both of which with breech-loaded rifles, and they're going to be marching up through here and kind of skirmish with the enemy ahead of the brigades that are moving up. Then we got First Brigade, which is this one right here, which will be crossing. The first one I think will be deployed to the side here and advance through there, while second will move through here. And then we'll have third going up through the woods here, with fourth taking a position to advance on that position, while the starting artillery positions will be on either side here. Since you can see the kind of high ground on the map, so we got high ground over here. Now it's covered by woods, but I think this is the first good spot to set it up with. Otherwise, it's kind of too far to push the artillery all the way up here to start with. But that would be the second point, to set it up along here. And then for the other artillery, it would be kind of on this side, and then pushed forward depending on where the enemy, if the enemy intends to attack us. I'm not entirely sure if the AI will attack us. I probably should have put it as aggressive, because then it would have attacked us. Now, the 1st Brigade consists of 2nd Wisconsin, 14 Brooklyn, 1st Minnesota, and US Marines. There's a bit difference in the units. As we can see, this one is actually 1st Minnesota late. All are period 4 units, but some say late and some say early and stuff like that. That guy kind of looks like they took him right out of Mountain Blade. I don't know what's wrong with his face. For the 2nd Brigade, we've got 15th Vermont, 76th Pennsylvania, 20th Maine, and 72nd Pennsylvania. We got the famed 20th Maine right here. Oh, and looks like they went through the trouble to actually make... I don't know the actual commander of the 20th Maine, but it definitely looks like the guy from the movie The famed movie, of course. So that's what the left flank looks like. Over on the right flank, we've got all the artillery. So what I've gone ahead and done is both sides. I should say the enemy also has 4 brigades. They've got some extra light infantry to kind of balance out the fact that I've got Gatling gun. In my test run, my Gatling gun was actually destroyed quite early on, and it only killed them at 32 enemies. So we'll see how it goes this time around. But then, besides that, both sides got these 12-pounder field howitzers. Field howitzers? I thought I'd bring 12-pounder Napoleons. Anyways, mistake that was made. In the 3rd Brigade, we've got the 39th New York, which looks positively Italian. It's Mario, Luigi, and all his friends come into battle. 5th New York, Suave unit. And behind them, we've got 1st Minnesota. So we got 2 1st Minnesotas. An early unit and a late unit. So this one, of course, they've got those striking Minnesota red shirts. And so then we've got 69th New York as the last unit there we're looking at. For the 4th Brigade, we've got an entirely colored brigade. So all units in the brigade are colored. We've got the 54th Massachusetts, famed from the movie, of course. Not just the movie, but probably where you will recognize it. 3rd Colored Infantry. We've got 26th Colored Infantry and the 22nd Colored Infantry. With that said, let's go ahead and start a battle and actually move the troops into position. First things first is to move the cavalry over to block them, you know, quickly kind of riding up and attacking my columns as they decide to advance. Looks promising. The Confederate units are moving, as I can see over here. And then we want the brigade now to start moving across. Units will get tired, so we'll be marching them for a little bit. For quite a bit. I will just, I think, show this initial bit, and then we'll have to kind of switch it up as we go on, because I think it will take just too long to show the entire thing of me rolling all the units into position. And I think given what happened in my test run, it's gonna be quite a while until I actually come to blow, and I want to kind of save some time in the episode and not just like show you continuous movements. Looks like the Confederates are just drawing a standard defensive line through the map, and that's what they're kind of setting up to do, much what they did in the test episode I did, or the test run I did of this. You can see, oh yeah, they got the Napoleon guns. Why did I accidentally then took the smoothbore field artillery? Is there a huge difference in between them? I hope not. That was not my intention. Anyways, we got the bit of Confederates here. 1st Tennessee, 18th Alabama. Here we go, the sharpshooters. Oh, they even have scopes on them. Would you look at that? It's probably a deadly unit. I like how they have the scope on the rifle, but also a bayonet. So they're, you know, all that's missing is a like underneath attachment for a grenade launcher, and maybe a laser sight. What's going on out there? Oh, there's loads of tents. It's where the Confederates are sleeping. We found the sleeping spot. Right, the cavalry needs to just scout out. I don't want to wake up with Confederates coming out of the woods before I'm ready. So that's what we're gonna send the cavalry around to do. and kind of hold them here. I don't think they're gonna push through the main road. And then we can take a look here quickly at the units crossing. Now, as it is, there's not a lot of crossing points, or at least not that I have seen. So, unfortunately, the entire army has to cross during these very crowded areas. Now, probably should test the map a little bit more just to see if there's any more crossing points, because playing against a human opponent and them realizing that there's going to be an absolute stampede trying to get cross here, they might like to quickly as possible go forward and attack these areas with cavalry just to cause confusion and problem in the initial setup for the whoever spawns on this side, and they can move up their units uncontested. So that's something to think about. But knowing stuff like that can happen, that is why, of course, you deploy your cavalry first to cross and kind of push away. The only units that would make it up here in time is cavalry, so it would be cavalry to kind of push back and forth before they get into position. As it looks right now, it's going to take a while for my units to actually get into battle against the Confederates. We're going to be marching a bit, and yeah, I'll see you guys once we're ready to come to blow with those darned rebel scum. And there we're off. The battle has started. The Colored Brigade has come into contact with some of the Confederate units. 37th Alabama, Hillard's Legion, and 1st Florida is currently dealing with my colored troops here in the woods. I've actually already lost a Gatling gun. I've lost 2 Gatling guns, in fact. It's actually just the same that happened last time when I deployed my Gatling gun. Hillard's Legion then as well went kind of out of this way to destroy. No, it's actually not the Coloreds, I'm sorry. It's the 3rd Brigade that I sent into the woods. Have I once again misplaced the Gatling guns? No, I have not. However, I intend to kind of control the fire of the Gatling guns. So we're gonna hold back on that a bit. There's lots of Confederates now moving in towards the Colored Brigade, so we're gonna open fire. At the same time, the left side of my army is kind of hanging back as it is right now. It's probably gonna have a little bit of an advantage, the fact that I am firing howitzers towards the enemy. Hold your fire, hold your fire. Let the Confederates close in before we open fire. Wait, I'm not the Confederates. Why do I speak like that? My artillery here, I do reach them. Alright, here comes another salvo. Okay, they're not gonna move any closer, are they? Then open fire. Now this part of the brigade I want to move closer, or move up on the side. First Louisiana might have had enough and might very well retreat soon enough. How's it going for the Gatling guns? They're no longer under immediate danger, but I kind of want to hold them back. Last time I used them when the Confederates were pushing a lot of troops kind of in towards, just charging down the center as it were. We're gonna see about crossing the field here at some point, but I want a First Brigade to actually move into its position. The Confederates seem to be pushing in more and more of their battalions, regiments, to attack the wooded area right here, where I'm currently holding back the enemy quite well, I must say. And we're doing quite a bit of damage over here. I want you to start moving forward. And then we might be able to envelop the enemy on that side. The cavalry, there's no point in you actually being mounted. So we'll go ahead and mount you, fix the gap here in between by setting up the cavalry there. Now I do have my lances, my Pennsylvania lances. It could be good to have them sent into the woods, turn up behind the enemy. Alright, have you dismounted? Good, then I want you to plug this gap and do it immediately. My Gatling gun's still alive. If the Confederates start to make a push towards this area, then is when I will unleash the hellstorm of the Gatling gun. Let's see. This brigade has kind of broken up a little bit in its deployment. Also, I dismounted the 2 cavalry units over here. Hasn't proven useful as of yet. I should open the slot there. So, alright, you're gonna move to that position. And now we're gonna set up the howitzer here, around the general, where the 2nd Brigade is holding on. We're not gonna try and move that forward just yet. What I want to do actually is I want to lure the enemy into the woods, maybe. I just want to get these guys with the breech loaders to get a shot off across the field before we go ahead and kind of pull back deeper into the woods, trying to lure the Confederates forward. Should be able to fire quite rapidly, these boys. I know some units as well have a buck and ball ability. So that could be useful, but that could be useful later, I think. Let's go ahead and... yeah, they're able to fire really quickly here. I want these guys now to start pulling back into the woods. So 3rd Brigade will be pulling back into the woods, hopefully dragging the Confederates with them. And in so doing, they will get closer to the Gatling guns. Looks like we kind of have to shore up here by starting 2nd Brigade to move over. First coming into position, and the cavalry is making its way into position. Can go ahead and take a little bit of personal control here. This Gatling gun. I can't see that close of the Confederates, and currently it doesn't allow me to actually fire the damn thing. Oh, we have been discovered. We're gonna have to redeploy that, because it was just because we came under fire like that. I was ah, shit, the Confederates are once again charging my Gatling gun, and it was specifically set up to stop stuff like that. 39th New York, countercharge and save the Gatling gun. Wow, okay, so last time I was not able to use the Gatling gun more than killing 30 enemies. This time around, I wasn't able to kill anyone with it. So we've got the New Yorkers fighting the Louisianans, and my trap that we were trying to set has completely fallen apart. Looks like the Confederates are getting destroyed there, and soon enough 2nd Brigade will take part in pushing these elements out of the sharpshooters and the 10th Louisianans. charge after them. I want the New Yorkers to continue. Get after those boys. And deal some to these sharpshooters as well. Keep going after them. Oh, they've enabled the drum thing. So they're moving faster. And we're kind of out of line with the rest of the army. And there's quite a lot of Confederates coming our way. The cavalry needs to move forward as soon as possible. And First Brigade, which have been marching for quite a while, needs to actually get their shit together and come to the field. Right. We're gonna end up really close to the Confederates here. But to be able to get good shots of them, we need to actually get up of this hillside. And it might be good to support with the general over here. Across the line, we're holding on strong. Tell the Lancers to actually move a little bit quicker. 39th New York is dragging on too much melee fighting. So I think we want to pull that one back as soon as possible. Get the general up here to support them as the 39th New York is pulling back. 11th Mississippi forced back under heavy fire. You got the 72nd Pennsylvania shooting at 33rd North Carolina. The North Carolinians are deploying their first rank kneeling. We could be doing similarly to them. Oh, here comes artillery shells blasting. Right. You are ordered to withdraw. And we will support you with the general as you do. Right, First Brigade is making its way across. Most of the Confederate army is actually embroiled in fighting over on my right flank, and we're holding on. There's some losses along the lines, but nothing too bad. Deploying them in the woods have made it so that most of the Confederate fire in towards the woods have been soaked up by the trees.
Yes, sir.
And there we go. The enemy has been sent away. They're really exhausted, the 39th New York, but they did, they put up a good fight. 5th Arkansas. We kind of move the brigade out of line, but I will advance this part of the brigade. I'm sure the Arkansas unit will... Ooh, who is that? That was a definite risk. It's a cavalry unit. It's the 6th Cavalry. They no longer have any horses, so they might as well stay on foot. But they are now without shot. First Brigade finally coming into battle here. Seems like I didn't even need that many soldiers. Right, we are well within range. So 2nd Brigade will hold where it is. Just telling the 72nd to hold so the 33rd can be forced away. They're really weak over on this side. What I want to do is let's focus the howitzer shot on the thick formations over here. I'm pretty sure these could be swept away. So if I move the general over to that side, I could order the coloreds to do a general charge. Let's have the cavalry move across. General will move behind the lines and go over the colored side. You can see the Confederates have lost a lot of troops and the morale is poor over on this side. So I think the Coloureds could quickly move across the field here, supported by the Pennsylvania Lancers coming up from the back, and we could have them just sweep the field and crush the right flank of the Confederate army, and in so doing we should be able to absolutely devastate their army. At the same time, the units in the woods should be moved forward to be made more effective, as we need to support the colored infantry, of course. Second Brigade have taken a lot of casualties moving forward, and I'm not entirely sure why First Brigade is held back by a single unit. The 1st Tennessee is somehow holding them back. This part of the brigade can actually advance and will advance. Right, the general is taking his sweet old time navigating through the forest to actually get into position. While he's doing that, we can take a closer look at what's going on here. 5th New York firing out of the woods towards the Confederates across the field. It's the Hillards Legion. Blasted Hillards. Hillards were the one that killed the first 2 Gatling guns, and then I can't remember which killed the second. Right, most of the enemies of the colored regiments have actually been moved away. So I will order them to start their advance even before the general has arrived. Well, he just arrived. To support them. Confederate General supporting the 11th Mississippi. Let's have the cavalry move into a flanking position and force 1st Tennessee to actually leave that so we can advance the US Marine and 2nd Wisconsin to actually get through there. The general has moved up ahead of the colored infantry and is leading by example, having them inspire them by moving forward like that. It's going to be the 54th and the 22nd that's going to be the ones that's going to move in on 42nd Georgia, while these 2 should deal with the 1st Louisiana. We don't need to move that far. I want to fire and get rid of them as soon as possible here, because these kind of need to come in and aid by firing in the flank. Right now just standing, taking fire from the enemy. There's just a few of them. I'm sure they'll rout any second. Right, finally 1st Tennessee is gone, which means the gap can be plugged by the Marines in 2nd Wisconsin. A cavalry will be moved to the rear and told to hold fire so they don't shoot our own troops. Not entirely sure what you guys are shooting at, but I want fire into that direction, and I want fire into this direction. Okay, so they're gone. Now we need to quickly move up the side here. And then the Pennsylvania Lancers should come out of the woods in a strong fashion, set up right here. So at this point, I actually played a lot better this time around for the second battle than my test battle, which went... I mean, I was able to use the Gatling guns a little bit better, but it could also be something to do with the fact that I've gave myself howitzers. But it's similar in the fact that neither time the Confederates decided to deploy their artillery. The colored infantry, we kind of tricked the Confederates going after these, and then the main colored infantry attacks from the flank there. And we got now hundreds of Confederates running and leaving the field. The Colored Brigade has outmaneuvered the Confederates in a big way and will now continue forwards to bring up the flank. Let's have the Pennsylvania Lancers make a charge with the guns and the enemy general. Look at their red pennants as they charge across the field. What is the... Oh, the general just got shot. 5th Arkansas is routing. The entire Confederate army is on the run, I thought. There we go. The 6th Kentucky just gave up. We are, in fact, victorious. So obviously the AI didn't put up a great defense, but I think what my mistake is because in Shogun you can kind of set who's the defender and who's the attacker. If I'd set the AI to be the attacker, they might have actually come at me, and I think that was the main mistake. But obviously, for this being a multiplayer version, you would want to you would really want to have a human player, and I think that could be really interesting. You could lower the you can actually lower the amount of troops in each unit, then you can have a full 40 units army, and you could have, you know, reserves, troops be pushed back once they're out of ammo and stuff like that. Could be interesting. Very long battle, of course. Or you could, you know, do 2v2. That could be interesting. 20 for each, and fight it out. But there we have it. We are victorious. The Confederate army is seen off the field of battle, and it's time for us to take a look at the statistics of this battle. Holy damn, I didn't realize we had... I mean, I know I had a lot of troops on the field, but 7,000 on each side. That means that we had, plus those 600 and 200 extra on my side, means we almost had, what, 15,000 men on the field, where in which I lost about 2,000, while the enemy lost 5,000. Very few team kills on either side. A little bit more on the enemy side, it seems, if I'm correct, because they lost more than I killed. But 1918, 1944, so it's not that bad in terms of my team kills. I guess it's good then that the Gatling gun was taken out as early as it was, because otherwise we'd probably seen a lot of friendly fires. When we go into unit statistics, you can see my general, he was riding around shooting a bit, and he managed to kill 5 enemies. But the one that killed the most is the 5th New York, followed by the 54th Massachusetts. And we can see then it's a second colored unit. We got the Pennsylvania Lancers, 76th Pennsylvania, 20th Maine, 39th New York, the ones that got that bayonet charge in the start. They didn't kill that many. Well, they killed 300, but they also lost a lot. Colored infantry over here. Colored infantry is really topping the list here. They managed to lose 41 while killing 300. And as we go along, I guess we'll find First Brigade down at the bottom. Wait, here's my general. My cannons didn't actually kill that many. I think it was more they were cutting down the morale. You can see 100, roughly 78, 30 and 26. Gatling gun. Oh, the Gatling gun did kill some people. Killed 7 of them. So, yeah. And if we go over to the enemy, what can we see there? 10th Louisiana, 1st Tennessee, Hillards. Very poor performance though by all these, given that each unit is comprising 400 men. But that it drops down very quickly after 10th Louisiana for 300 men, down to half that. So Confederates obviously didn't do too well, but then again, it's the AI. We can't expect too much from them. But with that said, I think it's high time to end this video. But I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.
Shoot on my signal! Move back!